Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to Comic Review 47, and in today's underrated comic series, we're having a look at the Black Flash, one of the coolest and most underused interpretations of the Flash. I'm sure most people know him from the Flash TV series, however the comics version is a little bit different from the show. The Black Flash first appeared in the Flash number 138 in 1998, although this was only a brief one-panel appearance in which he's shown in a photo of the Flash lurking in the back to slowly set up his character for future issues. In the next issue, he's shown again briefly when he seemingly kidnaps Linda Park, who is the love interest of the Flash of that time, Wally West. Barry Allen hadn't been the Flash for a long time since he had been killed off in the massive Crisis on Infinite Earths events back in the 80s, so for this story we're focusing on Wally West as the Flash. In the next issue, it is shown that Jay Garrick, the Golden Age Flash, pulls Linda Park out of the way just in the nick of time, but then a second plot twist was thrown into the mix and she actually was dead and he had just imagined her being alive apparently. Well, technically she's not dead, but has been trapped in the Speed Force by the Black Flash. Yeah, I know this story is a little bit confusing, even I had a hard time reading it. But anyways, we flash forward to a while later when Wally West had just attended her funeral, and because of this heartbreak, his connection to the Speed Force hasn't been the same. He goes to a cafeteria with Bart Allen, another member of the Flash family, when all of a sudden, he stops moving and talking along with everybody else in the area. Wally soon realizes that time has stopped around him when all of a sudden we got our first full look of the Black Flash standing right in front of him. The next issue is where we really get into the story. This issue mentions that the Black Flash has already taken the lives of Johnny Quick, Barry Allen the Second Flash, and Savitar, who are all speedsters that have presumably died as of that current continuity. We also get a bit more of an in-depth explanation to the Black Flash's powers. So first of all, he can stop everything around him in a frozen time state, since it is explained that this Death Speedster corrupts anything around it. Only people that are connected to the Speed Force are able to move at their usual speed, which is why Wally West is able to see what is going on, while everybody else who isn't a speedster still remain frozen in time. Since Wally West hasn't been his usual self lately, now that he has assumed that his love interest Linda Park had died a while back, he's basically powerless as of this moment. This is very similar to Spider-Man in the comics during a period in time where he had lost his powers due to his emotional state of mind. Anyway, since Wally is powerless in the scenario, he can only hope to dodge and weave around in order to avoid the Black Flash. His only current option was to hide as best as he could. He figured that if he were to stand perfectly still, he could blend in and act as a regular person frozen in time. This, however, didn't work as the Black Flash had swiped at him and almost killed him had Jay Garrick the Golden Age Flash saved him at that exact moment. Jay then proceeds to lock Wally in a closet so that he can be safe for the time being. Meanwhile, the remaining members of the Flash family try their best to distract the Black Flash, but it isn't working, since he is unfazed after receiving several heavy hits and explosions. After realizing the Flash family can't win this fight, this gave Wally a newfound motivation, which is to protect the ones he loves. With this newfound motivation, he's able to gain control of his powers and become the Flash once more. He goes straight to Black Flash and challenges him to a race. They are slowly going faster and faster until they're going so fast that they break the time barrier. They race faster and faster, going from thousands to millions of years. Wally is carefully calculating this and doing it on purpose. However, the Black Flash had not suspected what was going on and wanted to close the gap between them. Wally had gone so far into the future that he had led the Black Flash over 20 billion years into the future where the end of time and everything is and the concept of death can no longer exist. For that reason, the Black Flash ceases to exist altogether and is erased from the ends of time. However, since Wally West is the one in front controlling the time stream, what is implied is that he is able to go back into the Speed Force before he disappears as well. This leads me to believe that the Black Flash had the ability to adjust to any person's speed, no matter how fast. Actually, he was even faster than all of the Flash family themselves as of that current continuity. After Black Flash had disappeared, Wally West went to retrieve Linda Park, who was stuck in the Speed Force since the original target was supposed to be Flash and not Linda. After this, he hasn't made a major appearance until Flash the Fastest Man Alive number 11, where, as of this current time in comics, Bart Allen was the Flash instead of Wally West. The Rogues had found a way to remove his powers using a machine that couldn't be turned off at that moment. With Bart Allen powerless and battered and bruised, he had seen the Black Flash appear in front of him, to which it is stated that only someone attached to the Speed Force can see him moments before death. This is interesting to see since it tells us that the Black Flash doesn't kill someone unless they are already dead in their physical body. The only exception being if anyone gets in his way, as we have seen in the past. This appearance was very short as we didn't actually see the Black Flash do anything, and he was presumably chasing Bart Allen in the Speed Force off-panel later on since Bart Allen did end up dying in that comic, though his astral body was still in the Speed Force for now. His next major appearance was in the final Crisis comic. Remember how Wally West had said that the Black Flash had chased Barry Allen and killed him? Well, it turned out that Barry Allen had actually survived and was stuck in the Speed Force with Death chasing behind him the whole time. However, this was not the Black Flash but the Black Racer, who is a Grim Reaper for the new gods like Darkseid, for example. The reason why I mention this is because DC had confirmed that these two entities were actually the same. They are both avatars of Death itself, and the implication is that the Black Flash transformed into the Black Racer, and it does this depending on who it is that he's chasing. In Final Crisis issue number 8, Wally said to Barry, quotes, "I think I met this guy before when he was the Black Flash. I outran him." This is DC Comics' way of saying that they are in fact one and the same. After this, in the 2009 storyline titled The Flash Rebirth, not to be confused with the Rebirth reboot that DC did in 2016, the Black Flash had returned in a rather odd way. So essentially Barry Allen was back to being the Flash, but something was wrong with the Speed Force and it was out of whack. The Black Flash was found dead and Barry Allen had accidentally killed anyone he had touched instantly. Something had killed the Black Flash and made Barry Allen's energy become corrupted. This turned out to be Earbird Thawne, the Reverse Flash. I have an old video I did from his origin, although I might need to remaster it and upload it soon. Anyways, Thawne had made his own negative Speed Force which had corrupted the original one. And since the Black Flash oftentimes seeks out someone as a human vessel to use, it chose Barry Allen since he had both positive and negative energies. This in turn made him the perfect host to become the new Black Flash. In order to avoid this being a permanent change, Barry had traveled back into the Speed Force to get to the bottom of it. He was able to cleanse himself of Reverse Flash's negative Speed Force and was no longer the Black Flash. This was a very short-lived appearance of the Black Flash, which is often the case. Most recently, however, the Black Flash has appeared in the Flash number 76 from DC Rebirth. In this appearance, some of his abilities have been changed from his original version. For example, it is shown that the Black Flash cannot instantly kill an opponent with a single touch, which was something he used to be able to do. We can see this based on the fact that it was right behind the Flash, Barry Allen, and he had punched him with a very strong amount of power. This, however, only temporarily stunned the Black Flash, to which the Flash had claimed that it had felt like he had punched Darkseid, who is an extremely tough DC villain. The Black Flash goes after Steadfast, who is an ally to the Flash connected to the Still Force. He is seen slowly absorbing Steadfast's life when Barry swoops in to save him just in time. Another thing to note is that he can now talk, however only in brief sentences and is presumably in a morbid and deep voice. He was able to successfully kill another ally of the Flash later on, and it is explained later on that Hunter Zolomon, the second Reverse Flash, was trying to bring the Black Flash over on purpose in some sort of plan to prove his power. To make a long story short, the Speed Force was broken and Zolomon had helped to fix the barrier, but wasn't entirely successful and had still caused the Speed Force to go haywire. And as an effect, the Black Flash had disappeared from his physical existence and had not been seen thereafter, at least for the time being. As for the TV show, Hunter Zolomon is the Black Flash, where he has a sort of similar dynamic of being the aspect of death for the Flashes. They do change a lot of things here and there, so keep in mind that he is a different version than in the comics. Anyways guys, that's it for the Black Flash. It's sad to see that he only appears for a few brief moments, and in almost any occasion where he does show up, he's not even the main villain of the story, but rather a side character used to move the main plot. I really think the Black Flash is severely underrated and one of the coolest Flashes out there. Anyways guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this character? Do you think he needs more spotlight in the comments? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Anyways guys, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.